So I look naked. And I'm actually feeling my hair right now. It's never looked this cute, like parted like this. Let's try to keep it like this the entire video. Let's see if it'll last. Probably not. Okay, but let's just get started anyway. Happy New Year! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks so much for clicking on that video, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss another one. And if you aren't new here and you've come around quite a bit, thank you so much for joining me once again. In today's video, we're going to talk about 5 tips that'll set you up for success in 2018. One thing before we start, if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up as it helps me tons. And maybe share it with a friend that you think might benefit from this. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. I'm so excited for this video because New Year's Eve is one of my favorite, I guess, holidays. The new year always brings us, I don't know, more inspiration, the feeling of a clean slate, hope. I'm a fan of new beginnings. This video is all about how to set goals and actually see them through in 2018. I know that a lot of us, when it comes to New Year's resolutions, like all of January, we're like, yeah, we're doing it. And come like January, I don't know, 17th, we're not doing it, myself included. And it's only been the past couple years that I've changed. And I think it's these steps that I've taken in the past that has helped me to get to where I am today. And I'm not saying that I'm like this grand person that's got life figured out, but I've taken small steps from where I was to make an immense difference in my life. And that actually makes me really excited because if I'm here right now because of the things that I've done, I just can't wait to see where I'll be in the next year if I continue to do this, you know what I'm saying? With all of that said, I am here to give you 5 tips on how to make 2018 the best year of your life. Well, first and foremost, I think the first thing everyone should do is kind of reflect on 2017. Was it a good year? Was it a bad year? I've heard a lot of people say that 2017 has literally been the worst year of their life, and I didn't have the best year, but it was definitely not the worst year. And I think what we should do before we move on to planning and goal setting for 2018 is sit down, reflect on 2017, what went wrong, but what went right as well. I suggest you do the negatives first so that you get that out of the way, and then you start planning or goal setting for 2018 with a positive mindset, the good things that happened in 2017. Another thing you can do when you're reflecting on 2017 is think about what your goals were for 2017, and did you achieve them, did you not? If you did, what did you do to achieve them? So you can actually continue to do that and build on it. And maybe if you didn't reach your goals for 2017, maybe reflect on what it is that kind of went wrong and think about what you can do to change that. What did 2017 teach you? Did it teach you growth? Did it teach you to not be so confined to a plan? Did it teach you to be more flexible? And take all of these things and apply them when thinking about your goals for 2018. And then lastly, in this first tip, I want you to kind of forgive yourself. If you didn't achieve the goals you wanted to, I know I didn't achieve all of them, take a second and forgive yourself. You did the best you could, and if you didn't, you know, learn from that. Learn from that and put that into 2018. Life is too short to kind of dwell on the things that we didn't do or things that we didn't accomplish. You know, you still have time. Remember guys, this year, January 1st falls on a Monday. New week, new month, new year. There's possibly not a better time to start anything you want to start. This is a time where we, you know, like I said in the beginning, it's a clean slate. Just take some time to yourself, forgive yourself for the shortcomings, and just get excited for what's to come. And now after you do that, think about the positive things that happened this year. What did you accomplish? What were the greatest things that happened this year? Did you have more time with your family? Did you get a new job? Did you leave that job that you no longer wanted? Like, let's say one of your goals was to start a business last year, and maybe you didn't start that business, but maybe you took steps towards that. So maybe, for example, you quit that 9-to-5 job that you hated so much. That's a great stepping stone. You know, some of us don't even leave our 9-to-5 for the fear of not succeeding. So the fact that you did do that, that's a great reason to celebrate. These things don't have to be giant milestones. They can be little things like that, quitting your job, or for me, it's getting a job because, you know, I was so scared about what people would think about me if I had to go out and get a job. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Taz and I have a goal to buy a house, and we need to do things to make that happen. You know, I can't sit back and just wait for God to give me money. That's not how it works, unfortunately. And my business is not 100% booming right now that I can thrive off of that. So I have to do what I need to do to make those resources come to me. So that's my very first tip, reflect on 2017. Tip number 2, with social media being everywhere these days. And just seeing other people say, I made 6 figures in my business. I got first place in a competition. I opened up a bakery. I did this. I did that. It's very, very, very easy to get influenced by other people's dreams and their goals. Wow, tongue twister. Not that that is necessarily a bad thing. However, it is very easy to get lost in that. You know, we celebrate everyone else's successes, and maybe sometimes we're like, oh, I can do that. It'd be nice to open up a bakery. I want to compete for 7 years of my life. So tip number 2 is take some time to figure out what it is you really, really want. Before getting on your phone, before opening up a computer, I suggest maybe take some time to meditate. Sit in a corner, doesn't have to be in a corner. Sit in a comfortable couch in a comfortable position and, you know, just meditate for 10, 15 minutes so you can connect with your true self. As corny as that sounds, you know, it's very, very easy, like I said, to get influenced by outside people and outside distractions. You guys know I love Insight Timer, and they have a bunch of different guided meditations as well as like a timer where you can set like 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes and a bell will go off, you know, every 5 minutes if you want it to, or the halfway point of the meditation. So it reminds you that you're still going, you know? I suggest trying that meditation out if you don't like sitting in silence by yourself. If you're a beginner to meditating, there are a lot of great apps out there. However, I love Insight Timer. I go to sleep with it every night, and sometimes I'll do it throughout the day. This is gonna help you connect with your innate inner self. You know, nothing around you, nobody telling you what you should or shouldn't do, and find what it is that lights you up. Usually for me, when I finish meditating or even doing a yoga flow, I know what it is I want. You know, I'm just lost in my zone and I just feel super alive and I know exactly what it is that I want. And it's not about the superficial things that I worry about on a day-to-day basis. Coming back to yourself is gonna come back to what it is you truly, truly want. And this might not happen like the first time you meditate, but if you keep doing it, eventually you'll start to listen to what it is your heart wants and what you truly desire out of this life. That takes me to tip number 3. Find your why. That is the biggest thing I could say. A lot of us, like I said earlier, we get influenced by social media, and sometimes we see these things and we're like, oh, I want to do that. But in reality, we don't, and we never actually reach that goal because that's not what we really want to do. We're driven by somebody else's why and somebody else's successes that we don't actually see that goal out, and we never reach it, and then in turn, we feel bad because we weren't good enough to reach that goal. So let's just forget about other people's successes. Going back to tip 2, figure out what you really want and then figure out your why. The why is gonna be your motivation. That's gonna be your fuel. That's what's gonna light you up on the days that you don't feel like doing anything. That's what's gonna wake you up at 4 in the morning to go to the gym when it's negative 12 degrees out, when you really don't wanna get up out of your bed. The why is going to be your main motivator. So once you figure out what that is, I promise you, you'll be unstoppable. Another thing that I heard my girl Erin say is that if you attach an emotion to it, the reward will be much greater. For example, let's say you wanna lose 20 pounds. Why do you wanna lose 20 pounds? Is it to feel better in your skin? Is it to get a boyfriend? Your why doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It could be totally superficial, it could be totally emotional, it could be whatever it is you want it to be, and have no judgment with yourself. If your why to start a business is to make 6 figures, that's okay. To you, that's important. Maybe for somebody else, that's not very important, so their why won't be that. So that's totally okay. We have to understand that people have different wants and needs, and just because you want something doesn't mean that I want something, and vice versa. So if you attach an emotional value to it, what does that mean? So how are you gonna feel when you're 20 pounds lighter? How are you gonna feel when you can make the 6 figures? Are you gonna feel more confident? Are you gonna feel like you can take your family out on a vacation and not have to worry about it? You know, think about what it is that you would actually feel when you reach those goals, and I promise you, you'll be unstoppable. I know that's like my word today apparently, but it's true. Okay, tip number 4. Once you've reflected on 2017, taken some time to really figure out what it is you want and what's your why, now it's time to write things down and, more importantly, create a plan for them. You guys have all heard that cheesy quote, you know, a goal is just a dream unless it's written down, or something like that. I am gonna be the first person to tell you that I love inspirational quotes. I always thought that if I read the quotes, I'll magically be motivated and I'll be able to do whatever it is you want. But that's actually not the case, unfortunately. Action is what breeds motivation. It's not the other way around. It's not motivation breeds action. It's action breeds motivation. Let's go back to my losing weight example. So if you wanna lose 20 pounds, right? And you start seeing results, isn't that gonna excite you more? Isn't that gonna pump you up more? Isn't that gonna motivate you more to get back into the gym and keep seeing results? Once we start seeing results, we get so motivated. It's when we don't start seeing results that we are unmotivated. And just as easy it is to see with a losing weight example, that's the same thing when it comes to building our own business, starting a YouTube channel. You know, it's very similar, but sometimes just because it's a more tangible example, people see that more versus starting a business or starting a YouTube channel or starting a blog. Okay, that was a little bit of a rant, but what I wanted to say is once you figured out what it is that you really want and your why, it's time to write them down and set the plan. We know that when we go on a road trip per se, we have a map. It's the exact same thing. If we want to reach $100,000 in our business next year, we need to figure out what it is that we need to do to reach that 100 grand, correct? Because we can't just say that and then just do things willy-nilly and expect to make that much money. It's just not possible. So really break it down. So 100,000 divided by 12, how much do you need to make every month to get to that at the end of 12 months? What do you need to sell? What kind of products do you need to have to be able to make that much money? And same thing goes with weight loss. If you want to lose 20 pounds, a healthy amount of weight to lose every week is about a pound to 2 pounds a week. So maybe if you want to lose 20 pounds, maybe you figure out, okay, if I can do 20 pounds, I need my calculator. If you lose 2 pounds a week, that's 10 weeks, right? That's like 2.5 months. If you plan out those 2.5 months to a T, your workouts, your meals, like everything, can you imagine? You'll be 20 pounds lighter in 2.5 months. Does that excite anybody else? Because I'm like pumped. I want to go to the gym right now. Because yes, I do want to lose like 10 pounds, but that's a whole different video coming soon. What writing it down and creating a plan does, it creates a laser focus for you. You know, once you have it written all down, you see that this actually might happen because you have an actual tangible plan that you see written out and that you can actually check off. Let's say you want to start a YouTube channel and you don't have one. Maybe your plan could be come up with a name, plan my first video, film my first video, edit my first video. Those are 4 steps. Maybe you want to have your first YouTube video up in, I don't know, depends on who you are, maybe 2 weeks, right? Maybe week 1, it's kind of figure out your niche, not sure how you say that. Is it fitness? Is it beauty? Is it fashion? You've concised it and it's good to go. Moving on to step 2, you want to film your first video. Maybe you find your camera, maybe you find your setup, and maybe you film the first one. From experience, the first video that you film is probably not the one that you're gonna post. So maybe you'll refilm it a couple times until you get the one you really do love. And then week 3 could be edit. And then week 4, obviously post that video. And that's just a very random timetable, but it's just to give you a vision of how planning can give you literally the steps to take. And last but certainly not least, my last tip is, and I'm not sure where I heard this from, but when I heard it, I was just like, that's brilliant, is to write yourself a letter. Yes, write yourself a letter and date it December 31st, 2018. In this letter, write to yourself about who it is you want to be at the end of 2018, what goals you want to accomplish, and where you see yourself at this point. Like I said, date it December 31st, 2018, and when that date rolls around, you're gonna open that letter. So once you're done writing that letter to yourself, you're gonna seal it, like nobody can open it. But you're gonna put it in a place where you see it daily. That's gonna be a constant reminder of what you wrote in there. So make sure that you write a good letter. You know, be specific in that letter. Do you wanna lose those 20 pounds? Do you wanna make $100,000 in your business? Do you wanna just be a better friend, a better sister, a better daughter, a better girlfriend? Do you just wanna be a better person? Whatever it is, write that down so that when you do see it, you remember back on what you wrote and it hopefully inspires you to do one thing towards those goals every single day. Remember guys, all these tips are wonderful. However, if you don't have action behind it, you've got nothing. Like I mentioned earlier, like I used to be that girl that would have books of motivational quotes and I would read them to get motivated, but I never did anything. It wasn't until I actually started doing things that I actually got motivated. You know, once I started seeing Lift and Be Lifted take off, I was like, oh, I want to expand this. Once I saw my yoga mats, I have other things that I want to do. You know, once I saw these things happening, I in turn got more motivated. So if there's one thing that you can take from this video is action breeds motivation, and it's not the other way around. So with all of that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys don't mind sharing, please leave below one good thing that happened in 2017 and what's one goal you want to accomplish in 2018. I love communicating with you guys and I love to hear what you guys are thinking. So all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope these tips helped and I hope that you can put them into use for the new year. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah.